The first dilemma is from Anonymous. Because I'm almost done with high school, I'm thinking about what to do after I graduate. Personally, I want to be a musician, but I don't know how to be successful. How can I be successful after high school? Okay, Anonymous, I am very glad that you asked that because I've been meaning to make a video on what to do after high school for the longest time now. Okay, I think that out of every point in your life, at least up to the age of 21, I can't speak beyond that point, but up to the age of 21, that period between high school and when most people would go to college is a very confusing period in people's lives. And the reason why is because I see that you're 17 years old, okay? And when you're 17, depending on where you live, you're pretty much an adult, okay? You're legally, for the most part, an adult, but mentally, you're still a child. Okay, now, I'm not saying that to put you down or to put down any other 17-year-old, but at 17, you usually don't have a full grasp on what life entails, what the real world entails yet, because you've spent the first 17 years of your life, hopefully, being somewhat reliant on your parents. Okay, now, with that being said, I'm going to start off by answering your dilemma specifically, and then I'm going to expand beyond that and give general advice on what people should do after high school, because I know a lot of you guys watching this are in that same age range, that 16, 17, 18-year-old age range, and you're confused. And if you're confused, just know that you're not alone. I was once in your shoes. Now, with that being said, okay, you want to be a musician. Okay, if you want to be a musician, be a musician. Be a musician. It's as simple as that. Now, in terms of being a successful musician, or just being successful in general, you need to define what success means for you. For some people, success is just being in a position where you can make a living doing what you love to do. Doesn't necessarily mean being rich, doesn't necessarily mean that you're famous or anything like that, but it just means that you can make a living doing what you love. So for example, if you want to be a musician, you could end up being a music teacher for an elementary school. You would make a living doing what you love to do, being around music and teaching music to other students who are passionate about music, potentially. Okay, that's success for some people. For other people, they want the stardom. They want the bright lights. They want to do the live performances and go on tour and things like that. You have to define what that is for you. Okay, what is success for you? And that applies to anybody in any field of life. Okay, if you want to be an athlete, do you want to be a professional athlete? Do you want to be a coach? Do you want to maybe be, I don't know, an assistant? Do you want to be a teacher at a school? Maybe a high school football coach? You can do a lot of different things in these fields. Okay, you guys have to understand that being a musician or being an athlete, being anything, a YouTuber, these are all very broad terms, okay? So you have to do some soul searching and figure out what you want out of life and be honest with yourself, okay? And that really segues me right into the general advice for people after high school is you have to figure out what you truly want. Right now at this age, like I said, you're used to being reliant upon your parents for insight. But right now, you're going to have to start thinking for yourself. You're going to have to start thinking as an independent person, as an adult. And I know you're not prepared for that. You're not equipped for that yet, and that's okay. Okay, you learn with time. I'm 21. I'm still figuring things out right now. And guess what? Your parents are still figuring things out as well. Okay, but understand that you have to start right now from where you are. So it starts off with that passion, okay, that intuition. What do you feel is best for you right now at this time? Okay, the chances are you don't have an answer to that question. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. At 17, you're not equipped to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life, and that's fine. But the key is you need to give yourself space to do that. This is why I would recommend that everybody who finishes high school, unless you are dead set on what you want to do after high school, unless you're dead set on trade school, college, the military, being a YouTuber, whatever it may be, take a gap semester or a gap year if you can. Do not go to college straight away, especially if you're having to pull out FAFSA loans. If you're having to pull out government loans, you do not need to be going to college before you know why you're going there. This is a mistake that I made. Okay, I thought that I'll figure it out as I go. I'll go to college and then I'll figure out my major. But what I didn't realize is that in order to fulfill your major, you're going to have to take a lot of prerequisite courses. And that trickles all the way down to the basic classes that you take, the first math class that you take, okay, the first science class that you take. Depending on what major you pick, You might end up having to retake classes, and that's going to cost you extra time and extra money. And these are resources that you may not want to spend on classes that aren't really going to give you insight on your actual path in life. Now, for some people, that path will work if you have the disposable income and you're willing to exert that level of effort and time towards something that doesn't really get you anywhere specific, then that's fine. But for most people, okay, if you want to do things in the most efficient way possible, if you want to find success at the earliest age possible, like me, okay, I wanted to be successful at a young age. You have to focus on the thing that you want to do, but the only way that you can focus on that thing is to find it. And the only way to find it is to give yourself space, eliminate distractions. And a lot of times, school is a distraction, believe it or not. I know that your parents and your teachers have probably fed you the narrative that school will help you figure out your passions. And like I said, for some people it will. You're going to have to follow your gut with that. If you believe that school is going to get you closer to your passion, if you feel a pull in your soul to go to school, then you should go to school. You should disregard pretty much everything that I'm saying. But universally speaking, okay, you have to figure out what is best for you. That's basically all I'm trying to get at right now. You have to figure out what is best for you at this age. Now, you said that you're almost done with high school. You're not finished with high school yet. Okay, it's January right now. Unless you're graduating early, you're still in school right now. Enjoy these last few months. Okay, enjoy these last few months. When I was in high school, mind you, I graduated early. I graduated January 19th, 2018. I still remember the day because it was one of the happiest days of my life. But at the same time, one regret that I have from high school, if I have any regrets at all, the one regret that I have is that I did not enjoy my time there. I didn't give myself a chance to thoroughly embrace the experience of being a high school student, going to the football games or the basketball games, going to the pep rallies, talking to the people there. Okay, I didn't give myself that chance because I was so focused on getting out of there. Okay, and once you're out, you can't go back. Now, is that to say that I would want to go back to high school right now if I was given the opportunity? Absolutely not. Okay, like I said, January 19th, 2018 was one of the happiest days of my life. I didn't even want to walk the stage personally. I only did that for my family. But my point is that you have to make the most of this moment. Okay, don't do what I did and just count down the Mondays until you're out. Embrace the moment for what it is right now. It's a unique experience. Being a teenager is a unique experience. A lot of people don't really realize that your teenage years are only 6 years long, from 13 to 19. After that, your teenage years are gone for the rest of your life. Okay, I'm in my 20s now, a whole new era of my life. And I remember on my 20th birthday, I had somewhat of a, I guess, quarter life crisis in a sense, because I felt like I had wasted my teenage years thinking about the future and I hadn't made any progress because of that. You see, a big mistake that a lot of people make, especially if you're watching a self-development channel, I'm just going to assume that you probably have at least somewhat of the same problem that I did. And that is that you live in the future. But you have to understand that your future is built in the present moment. Okay, so right now, with you being 17, 18 years old, with you being just about to graduate high school, if not freshly graduated from high school, you need to seize the moment to figure out who you are, do some soul searching. Now, I understand your parents might be pressing you to go to college. Okay, some people, their parents tell them that they have to leave if they don't go to college. If that's the case, then you need to create the space for yourself to do so. Okay, go and get you a job and put yourself in a financial position where you can move out or maybe even travel. Do something of that nature. Okay, but you have to give yourself space by any means necessary to figure out what you want to do in your life. Because if you want to be a musician and you know that you want to go out and tour and be famous and all of that, you need to dedicate your life to that. You don't need to be taking college courses and trying to do live shows, open mics on the side. Okay, if you want to do something in life, especially if you want to go off the beaten path, you have to go off the beaten path. You have to commit to it fully. There is no 1 foot on one path and 1 foot on the other, because as time passes on, those paths will diverge and you're going to have to make a choice. A lot of people, they choose the stable route. Someone like me, I chose the other route. And I'm here to tell you that if you choose the other route and you commit to it with the same level of effort and energy that you would have committed to that route, the stable route, You will find success.